Okay, good morning. Today we are going to do something a little bit weird. We are going to have a go at one of the club tournaments and we are going to make things a bit more difficult. I like to do this every now and again, and that is to play some of the tournaments with the starter ball. Why would I do something like that? Well, the reason is when you are playing with one of these balls. This is my regular ball, the TaylorMade 92, and it's got some quite nice statistics there. It's at a decent distance. It's got quite a bit of spin for control, and a relatively slow meter speed. Some of the other balls have got. These things are things that I've accumulated over. Accumulated free. I've never bought any of those. But if we go down to the starter ball, then what that does is it means we've got no control over the ball at all. We will not hit the ding, not that we ever do hit the ding very often, but we will not hit the ding at all, and we will hit some terrible shots. So it is excellent for course management. And just sometimes when you are, making mistakes, not thinking properly, this I find helps me to just get a grip on that a little bit and just play sensibly. It's really good practice for some of the 14-speed greens that we get as well, because on those you just genuinely have to play away from the hole sometimes and play into sensible places. The Equilibrium course is a one I often look forward to. It is fun custom course, we haven't hit any shots today, so it's also good for the XP. We're not far away from level 102, which gets us the big boomstick off the tee, get me an extra 4 yards. And I believe that this one is set up with tricky conditions too, just to make things. Why am I still using the TaylorMade? That is not what we were trying to do. I do not want to be using that. Pleased we spotted that. Try that again. Ball, starter ball, equip. And let's try again. Now the starter ball will move a little bit less in the wind than my regular ball, so that will also take a little bit of adjusting too. Kevin Nookwood is leading at 32, and I can't remember the... that's unfortunate, isn't it? Never mind. Scorecard. What holes have we got here? So here, 3 par 5. Looks like the par 5s are probably where we're going to have to make our score today. 27 tailwind times 109 over 225 is 13. For a full tailwind, it's about 12. Maybe a little bit more. Because it's a very strong wind that off the top of the cliff. So let's play for 13. Normally deduct a little bit for the starter ball, 11. And it's about 100. Normally, this plays about 100 yards, this one to that pin. We'll aim a little further left because it might, even with the starter ball, might do that a little bit. Put a little bit of zip on it. Get my mapping notes out for the starter ball because I can't remember those. I can remember the other ones just fine. We can probably go. No, I don't want to go full. Don't want to go full back with that. So we want to hit this about 90 yards, which is going to be about about there, I reckon. Landed a bit past and maybe spin it back a little. Oof, dearie me. See what I mean about the meter speed? You are going to hit some terrible shots, and that was one of them. But we got the distance right. So 13 greens. Yeah, it's a good, tricky little test, this one. 5 times 8 over 13. 4.6. Move a little right to left. Just check it's not moving left to right at the start there. It looks like it might be wanting to do that. Marginally. And the wind will hit this as well. The wind is also going to hold it up. So I think we just hit that around about there. All good.
Good ball.
Now we're going to have a job stopping this one. This is an interesting hole. So 172 less the wind. Wind is going to be about 3 or 4 there. 168ish, 170. So I'm going to give this a 6-iron full backspin, and there is a little. I mean, here, this is where you want to finish. You want to finish here. Now, thankfully, it's a 13 green speed, which is going to make it a bit easier to get there. Because you can run it up here, and it will come all the way back down and into this bit. If we go over here, it's going to leave us a horrendous putt. So I'd rather miss this a little bit left. If I fail, here is not a bad spot with a starter ball either. Even the bunker is not a bad spot, to be honest. Here is okay. I would not be overly concerned about that. So this will fly about 169 plus. It'll run about, well, normally it runs about 4, but it'll run a lot more than that. So we've got to kind of land it here and hope it does the wall of death around and in there. Let's see. Take a little bit off this one. About there. Pulled it a bit, but it's a good miss to miss it to the left. Get over that. That looks to be about exactly what we intended. Just don't go too far to the right. Yeah, we called that one quite nicely. Makeable putt. Now we'll probably try to miss ding this. It's hard to hit the ding at the best of times on the iPad, but especially with the starter ball. So we'll probably try to miss ding this into the break and reduce, deliberately do that, and reduce the chances of miss dinging on the wrong side. So this is going to play very slow up there. This one is going to play about in 11 speed. So 11.8 plus 4.5 times 8 over 11. This putt is just very slow up there. We're going to miss ding a little to the right, which means it is likely to not come back quite as much as would otherwise be the case. And normally it would be about here. Probably go in a little bit. Yeah, I like that. And give it a bit extra. Just dived at the start, didn't it? We did what we wanted to do, but it dived a bit on us at the start. But happy with how we played that. We couldn't have played that any better. Now, good wind. Yeah, I haven't mapped the tee shots with this, that's bad, but it's probably going to work out that that is about pretty good.
That's a huge drive.
So 21 times 213 over, 21 times 213 divided by 225, 20. Deduct a bit because we're using the starter ball and God only knows how high it's going to fly. 17, deduct 2 for the elevation, 15, so it's going to play about 198. Looking at my mapping notes here, 4-iron will fly about 188 and run anything from about 14 to 24. Unpredictably. Downwind and with a green above us, this is going to run like hell when it's the green. So I think we need to land it about here and just run it all the way up yonder. We cannot afford to miss it right. Right is very bad. Here, 13s, this is one of my favourite little tricks with a starter ball. Run it up this way, it will roll round, it'll come off here, and it will come down pretty tight. So I think we can look to avail of that rather than flirting with disaster and doom over there. I think we can just aim this slightly left of the flag, let it run up the top, hope it comes down. I think that is our best play. So yeah, so we said 15 off is about 198. 4-iron will land about 188 full backspin and run up the hill 204. I think that is pretty good, right? Just as well we aimed left there. That was a bit of a big mistake, wasn't it? Here we go up the top of the hill. Got the top of the hill in a slightly different fashion to what I intended, but you can see exactly why I like this on 30. It's because it just rolls all the way back down to a lovely place. To make sure we're playing enough break here, it would be embarrassing to miss this one. So I missed in a tad early if we can. Yep. Nice eagle. Now this one, Royal St George's, the 27 mile an hour wind always plays a bit extra. But with the starter ball, I think it'll play a little bit more like an inland course. Again, not something I've mapped particularly well, so we are going to have to rely on our course management rather than on charts and mappings. So, I mean, a good place to leave this sort of area here would be a nice place to leave it. I'm not sure we can actually stop it that fast. I think it might run all the way to the bank. We might just have to accept a nasty, gnarly putt here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's maybe there, and if we can slightly miss ding early, would be the way forward. It's about 154, something like that, which is going to be a 7-iron with a bit took off it. We'll try and miss ding a bit early. Ooh, accidental ding. The accidental ding, but that shouldn't be too bad. Tricky one. Again, we have no chance of hitting the ding here, so what we will try to do is to ding a little bit late on purpose against the slope, try and reduce the break a little bit. Down the hill it always breaks a lot more than it would at first appear. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that, particularly if we're misting a little bit late. Good putt again. We did what we thought. I mean, maybe didn't miss ding as much as I would have expected to. We're actually pretty accurate there for once. It's a par, not the end of the world. Now this is a menace with the starter ball. You need to be very careful here. You can get yourself into a lot of trouble. So 287 is how far this will go. 30 for the elevation. I'm just going to hit it over there and let it drift to the right. We don't want to be messing with big trouble there. Misting slightly left, which is perfect. Boom. Yeah, I didn't know how far that was going to fly to the right there on the wind from that sort of elevation. And then this one, we need to be careful not to go down the slope. The idea here is do not go down the slope into the dip. Yeah, I mean, you can see it here. I mean, anything this side, which it's likely to do with that wind, is going to go down here. That would not be good. So we will try to miss ding left, and we'll try and leave it up here and leave ourselves a putt rather than trying to be too clever. So 94 plus 5 for the elevation is 99. And what are we going to have to add for the wind here? We're going to have to add another 4 for the wind, I think, here, 103. That's unfortunate. That's not a nice number. That is not a nice number. I can get there with a full top sand iron, but I think a full top is just going to run a bit too far. So we are going to have to take some off this. I'm going to have to hit this about 91%, I think. Misting slightly early, perfect. Yeah, we'll take that. Sweet. We have to be careful with this. I think a full whack is going to get us into trouble here. I would rather be way back hitting a 3-wood in than in that rough, particularly with the starter ball. So if we are aiming here, let's go a little bit further left. 3, that's going to fly an extra 50 yards, 303. Yeah, I think we need to take just a little bit off this.
Oh, you crushed it. That's a huge
Yeah,
drive.
we played well back there, but that is safe. So if this was a normal ball, it would be about 17 for the wind. Assuming this is a full tailwind, which actually I think it is not. I think if we look from behind the green there, it's more of a cross. If we look from angle 3, which is nearer to our ball, it is also a cross. So it's nowhere near 17. It is probably nearer to about 9. This one always plays a bit shorter than the yardage. It sort of lands into the upslope and digs in a bit. So we're going to ignore the elevation completely and play this for about 204, which is going to be, and again, we don't want to miss, missing this right is totally dreadful here. We'll play it full back, and it should be quite close to 204. Missing that more to the left than I was attempting to there. Go, giddy up, come back round. Yeah, we've left ourselves a gnarly putt there. That needs to come down, and it's not going to. That is a hideous putt. But again, pleased to miss it on the correct side. Now this one, I know this is 15 feet, but 14.9 minus 7.6 is 7.3 times 8 over 13 is 4.49. And with this one, you can see it's just going to run and run and run. We just need to set this off with the starter ball. We've got very little control of hitting the ding, so I would prefer again to miss ding to the left. How does that feel? I don't think that's enough. I think we need to move it back in a bit. So we're just going to set this off and let the green do the work. I think with a missed ding, that is about right.
Great roll.
Beauty. Now, again, with a starter ball, this hole is a menace. It's all well and good being able to whip one in, land it on the bank and spin it back with a normal ball, but this is a hole you should not be frightened to make a par and get off or hope for a long putt. So 16 times 208. I think the way that this is playing this ball is probably divide by 200, not divided by 170. Is going to get us a more accurate representation. It's about a 70% wind. 12. 220 less 9 for the elevation is 211. That only leaves me with one choice. Now, unfortunately, this will want to run a bit. So I think we are just going to have to accept. We're just going to have to accept the level of going past the flag here. Or maybe not. Maybe we've got it just right. We've got a bit lucky there. We played that safe and it's rolled and found the top of the slope and rolled back. But again, that's just solid course management to stay away from the big danger spot and leave ourselves an opportunity with a putter. This is going to play a little bit less than 5. Again, we'll look for the off ding to the left to make up for the fact that it's very unlikely I'll hit the ding. A little bit worried that's not enough break. Let's go there, an off ding. Come on in. Come in. Go. Okay. We can't get anywhere near this, so we won't attempt to.
Good ball.
This will play about 14. So 1, 1, 2. Um, 10. So on this one, I think the wind will play as much of an impact as the break. We're going to have to try and hit the din.
Great roll.
And then a par 5 to finish. Okay, sorry about that. We had a phone call to do that. At some point today we had to do a bit of work. So yeah, that was it. That was a little bit of a spectacular misting. I was intending to misting a little bit, but that was quite special. Now, can I get there? I don't think I can get there, which is very good news. Let's see if we put a bit of spin on it. There we can misting to our heart's content here, I think. So with a normal ball, this would move about 8.4, maybe a little bit more, maybe 9. It won't with a starter ball. We will try and miss ding into the wind a little bit as well. 63 plus 5 for the elevation, 68, plus probably a couple for the slight headwind, which is going to be close to 70. There. That was unfortunate. So this one is going to be about 14 on without the wind. It's going to be nearer to 16 without the wind, I think. I think I'm kind of liking that line. Thought we had that. Okay, and there we have it. 7. Yeah, so there we have it. 7 under. A couple of eagles helped out for sure. Let down a little by the pars, but it's hard with the starter ball. We didn't make any bogeys. We didn't come close to making any bogeys, which is good. Average distance to pin is about 13 feet, which is kind of acceptable. Yeah, the putting is difficult with that. Surprisingly, we did hit a couple of dings. A couple of those are probably accidental. Otherwise, evenly distributed left and right where we've tried to miss dings, so that is good. Let's see how that fares in the leaderboard. I haven't paid much attention to that. But yeah, I think the idea here is to prove that you can just play a sensible, cautious round, and there we are, head by 3. Okay, hope that's useful. Thank you very much.